Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little bit shorter than usual. I'm pretty much just doing a follow-up to my last video, which was disassembling the small block off of my Camaro. So today I just want to go over all of the parts and just show you the condition of it, because I know the last one was kind of like all over the place. So first, let's start off with the crankshaft. So let me just get my glove on. And I know that I'm not supposed to lay it, but the only reason I have it like this and I laid it last time when I disassembled everything is just because I know it's not going to stay like this for a very long time. But I know if it was a long while, then I would sand it up, which let's just do so right now. It's, again, extremely heavy, but this is, whew, let me try to put it more in the center because this is scaring me. This is how it looks like. You know, it's so heavy that I want to weigh it, because this is the heaviest crankshaft that I've dealt with personally. So I'm curious to know how much it actually weighs. It's here ready to be weighed. I have my scale. Let's just turn this on. I'm thinking it probably weighs around 100 pounds. How much do you think it weighs? You know, I'm actually kidding. It just feels like it weighs 100 pounds, but take your guesses and let's see how much it weighs. Ugh. So heavy, but we can finally find out how heavy this is, or maybe how light it is, and I'm just being dramatic and exaggerating. So I guess I was exaggerating a little bit, but it is 52.2 pounds. You know, that is quite heavy. So, you know, it's not quite 100, but it's a pretty hefty crankshaft. Let's take this off of here. Here goes putting it on top of the table, which is not fun. I think maybe if I can just probably just pick it up like this, it'll be easier. At least we're balanced to freaking deadlift it. Done. Here's one more look at the crankshaft. You know, I'm guessing that this was machined pretty well before. Overall, it looks in pretty good condition. It does have some minor wear, but I mean, it makes sense because this rotates, so that just needs to be normal. So it probably just needs to just have a good cleaning, and then it's good to go. Here's the camshaft, doubles as dumbbells. I'm kidding. You know, it looks pretty good. Overall, everything on this engine looks pretty good. And you know, when I say that, I'm comparing it to the 302 that I took off of my Mustang. So the conditions are vastly different, like night and day. Obviously, it does need to be cleaned. It does have some oil residue and some wear, but again, it's normal. And you know, I don't know exactly from where this is, but I know that this is aftermarket because when that car turned on, it had a nice chop and it also kind of like rocked a bit. Sounded really nice. And this was a surprise to me. When I was removing the timing cover, there was no timing chain, just these gears, which is a big surprise to me. I don't know if this is common with this engine or this is upgraded, but I thought this was pretty cool and obviously a surprise because I haven't seen that before. Next are the pistons. So I have two here, for example, just because I want to show you how they look. I couldn't tell you which number this one is. This one is though from the right, the first one on the right bank, and it doesn't matter right now just because everything's gonna get cleaned and refreshed. If I were to be using this, obviously it would, but it doesn't matter. So it looks pretty good. Normal carbon buildup here. The piston rings move freely. They look in good condition too. This oil ring, it moves freely as well. Everything looks pretty good. And then the sides, they don't have any scoring. They look pretty smooth. So, you know, everything is good on this one. But there is something. This is another piston. This one was on the right, the second one on the right bank. So piston wise, it's pretty much the same as the first one, normal carbon buildup. You know, the sides look pretty smooth. The rings are all three are fine. Bearing wise, that's something else. There's a lot of copper showing on this bearing. So, you know, I couldn't tell you exactly how old this engine is or when was the last time it was refreshed. So this can be either bad quality bearing or maybe it was a tolerance issue. I mean, I'm no expert. It could be something else. I don't know. You tell me. As far as the condition for the rest of the rod bearings, so two of them, the first ones on each bank are pretty much like this. They show the least amount of copper, but the rest, so the remaining six all show just like that, a lot of copper. So, you know, I don't know what the issue might have been. So from what I was told, this is a double hump camelback head and I was told it's good, but then I started reading and it is good, but there are better in the market. So, you know, I don't know. I'm happy with it because there's no issues and it also looked Very pretty. So it had this bar that just held the push rods, the rockers in place. And I don't know, it's a pretty cool setup because I've never seen that before. The valve train obviously seems to be upgraded. Just looking at these springs, retainers, valves, they look to be like this gunmetal color. To me, that screams aftermarket. And you know, that's pretty much as I can tell you about them. This block is pretty much gold because it is such a good condition. These cylinder walls, well, first, you know, let me start off by saying that this is one of the cleanest blocks that I've personally dealt with. It's almost as clean as me when I work on cars for the most part. But these cylinder walls are looking so good, very, very minimal wear. These main bearings are 100 times better condition than the ones on the pistons. But you know, one thing that I haven't seen, which is I guess is a common theme with this engine, are the studded block is pretty cool, and it's something that I haven't seen before, which seems to be the common theme with this engine, because with all of the engines that I've taken apart, so that would be the 302, the 350, the Camry engine, it's all bolts. So in order to take off the mains, it's bolts. But these are just studded onto the block. So that's pretty neat. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that my GT350 also has a studded block now after it was rebuilt. I can't say 100% because I didn't assemble it and I didn't see when they were doing it, but I'm pretty sure it does, which is pretty cool now seeing it here in person. The question that I get asked is whether I'm keeping this engine or not. I am keeping it, but I'm going to get a new one for my Camaro. Now, I don't know if I'm going to stay with an SBC or go with a BBC. I still need a little bit more time to figure that out. You know, I'm tired of you guys seeing me just take apart engines and never putting them back together because, well, I just end up getting a new one or sending it somewhere else for them to put it together. I'm thinking, no, I know I'm going to do something different with this one. I am actually going to try and just assemble it back together myself. That would be a first. I've never done that before, so I'm curious to see whether it'll turn on or it won't, but it will be a learning process. So when I put this engine back together, I'm not going to put it back in the car. I actually want to build its whole little system or setup and see if I can actually turn it on that way. I've always seen those like on YouTube, Instagram, and I'm always like, you know, that is super cool. That is actually cooler than seeing it inside the car. So I definitely want to try that and see if it works. Hopefully it does, but the good thing is that if it doesn't, I don't need to like take all this time and take it out of the car again because I fucked up. That's pretty much the plan. I still have a lot of boring work to finish off, like chassis work with the Camaro and the Mustang that I still need to complete before I get to the fun part, but this is exciting. I'm very curious to see how this will go. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.